Hello, and welcome back to another video. So what are we going to focus on today? Today we're going to look at a little bit of intonation. Now there's a lot of aspects of intonation that we have to go over, and we will go over all of them little by little in future videos. But today we're going to focus on one particular area of intonation that's called descriptive phrase. We're going to be focusing on what descriptive phrases are. So as the name implies, it's a phrase that is described. What do we use to describe phrases? Adjectives, right? So adjectives are words that describe a noun or a pronoun. For example, small, short, fast, tall, slow, crazy, boring, exciting, etc. All of these are adjectives. And descriptive phrases has a lot to do with adjectives, but also with nouns. What is a noun? A noun is a person, a place, or a thing. Right? Any person, place, or thing. For example, if I say, Peter writes with a pencil at school. We have three nouns there. We have Peter, pencil, and school. These are the three nouns in that sentence. So what we're focusing on here is when we give more stress or intonation or emphasis, if you will, on the adjective when it's alone. However, when there's a noun in the sentence, that takes precedence. That becomes the most important part of the sentence, usually. There are exceptions. If there's a specific phrase or you want to emphasize an adjective, even though there's a noun present, you want to emphasize an adjective for whatever reason, that's possible in very specific circumstances. But typically, we emphasize the nouns, right? So let's start off by exploring what that means to emphasize the nouns. Nouns are more significant than adjectives because they provide the main information. When you use an adjective with a noun, it forms a descriptive phrase. In such phrases, the emphasis usually falls on the noun, unless there's a specific reason to highlight the adjective. If there's no noun, you put the stress on the adjective. However, if a noun is present, it becomes the focus and should be emphasized. So, like I said, in a sentence, it's very common that you have an adjective and a noun. If you have both an adjective and a noun, stress the noun. That's the most important part. If there's no noun present, then stress the adjective. So it might be a little bit confusing just me explaining it like this. So let's get into some example sentences so that you can understand it a little bit better, right? Let's start with emphasizing the adjectives or stressing the adjective when it's present. So here you see this list of phrases. You have it's short. You'll notice how it goes from low to high. It's short. Da, 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 da. It's short. It's chocolate. It's good. It's guarded. It's wide. Therefore, it was small. It's the best. It's always going to go low, high, low, high. Da, da. It's short. It's chocolate. It's good. It's guarded. It's wide. Therefore, it was small. It's the best. Notice how I stress or I emphasize the adjective, right? But what happens if with that same phrase, I include a noun? So what happens is the focus goes from the adjective to the noun. So we want to stress the noun. The adjective is no longer important. So we have the adjective on the left, where we stress the adjective because it's all by itself. And then we have the adjective with the noun on the right. However, the adjective is no longer emphasized. So I'm going to read through them. Listen to where the emphasis, where the stress goes. It's short. It's a short nail. It's chocolate. It's a chocolate cake. It's good. It's a good plan. It's guarded. It's a guarded gate. It's wide. It's a wide river. There are four cards. It was small. It was a small spot. It's the best. It's the best book. Did you notice how the stress goes on the noun? I'll read it one more time. And you can follow along and read it after I do, putting the stress, the emphasis on the adjective or on the noun. So repeat after I do. Repeat after I read them. It's short. It's a short nail. It's chocolate. It's a chocolate cake. It's good. It's a good plan. It's guarded. It's a guarded gate. It's wide. It's a wide river. There are four cards. It was small. It was a small spot. It's the best. It's the best book. Right? Did you hear the stress? Excellent. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue practicing a little bit, but let's practice with a short story. Now, this is a very popular child or children's story. It's a story I heard in my childhood. I think most people have heard this story of the ugly duckling. Right? Now, it's not the whole story. I shortened it just to for purposes of time. But you're going to notice that all the words that are highlighted in red, those are the ones that we emphasize because it's either an adjective or it's a noun. Right? So let's go over that story. We have the ugly duckling. Listen to the emphasis, to the stress. There's a mother duck. She lays 3 eggs. Soon there are 3 baby birds. 2 of the birds are very beautiful. One of them is quite ugly. The beautiful ducklings make fun of their ugly brother. The poor thing is very unhappy. And the 3 birds grow older. As the 3 birds grow older, the ugly duckling begins to change. His gray feathers turn snowy white. His gangly neck becomes beautifully smooth. In early spring, the ugly duckling is swimming in a small pond in the backyard of the old farm. He sees his shimmering reflection in the clear water. What a great surprise! He's no longer an ugly duckling. He has grown into a lovely swan. Did you hear the stress? I'll read it one more time. There's a mother duck. She lays 3 eggs. Soon there are 3 baby birds. 2 of the birds are very beautiful. One of them is quite ugly. The beautiful ducklings make fun of their ugly brother. The poor thing is very unhappy. As the 3 birds grow older, the ugly duckling begins to change. His gray feathers turn snowy white. His gangly neck becomes beautifully smooth. In early spring, the ugly duckling is swimming in a small pond in the backyard of the old farm. He sees his shimmering reflection in the clear water. What a great surprise! He's no longer an ugly duckling. He has grown into a lovely swan. All right, so pause the video, read that story a couple times out loud to yourself. If you want to record yourself, that's a really, really good way to pick up on maybe mistakes that you make that otherwise you don't notice. So record yourself reading the short story, emphasizing or stressing those adjectives or nouns, the words in red. All right, so we went over stressing the adjective when it's by itself. We talked about stressing the noun and when it's included in the sentence. We practiced with a short story. So now I want you to hear the adjective being used, or when there's a noun present, being used in short clips of movies. All right, so let's practice with that.
It's short notice, I know, but later everything's going to be chaotic.
It's short. Okay?
I know it's short notice.
Sure, I think it's a wonderful idea.
It's short for Bilbo, like in
The Hobbit. Of course it is.
It's short and straight as a goddamn poisoned arrow.
It's carbine. It just means it's short.
Well,
Well, it's corn, but it's short.
Oh, it's short for red wood. My last name's Wood.
He gets a pass off, and it's short.
It's a short cab ride.
It's a short walk from my office. Read it ages ago. It's a short book. It's a short film.
Short story. How can it possibly take
Frankie McVeigh, you're not funny.
Well, it's a short life, isn't it?
But it's a short flight.
Sheriff Ticker says it's a short leap from kissing to killing.
It's okay. The poison's
Chocolate. It's chocolate. I hear it's good for you.
It's chocolate.
It's chocolate spread, by the way.
Man, I told you before, it's chocolate, not charcoal.
It isn't. It's chocolate.
Chocolate. Your favorite.
It's a chocolate layer cake.
It's chocolate truffle.
Look at that. The chocolate inverted comma.
It's a chocolate layer cake.
Small, but there's a spare room. This is it.
It's small.
And Fanny, it's small but expensive.
It's small, but you aren't breathing someone else's stale air for months or years, trying not to hate them.
It's small, but it works.
All friendly.
Well, it's small and red, is what you asked.
It's a small price to pay for someone who loves you.
It's a small firm, but we handle quite a bit of money.
But it's a small pleasure.
What's fair? It's a small manipulation.
Well, it's not the lead, it's a small part.
It's a small town. Everywhere you turn, I guess we're gonna run into each other.
It's a small thermal exhaust port right below the main port. It's a small thing, perhaps, all things considered.
Okay.
It's a small investment.
It's a small domestic drama up here, Peter.
Yeah, it's a small town.
Alrighty. Just a few clips from different movies so you can hear how adjectives are used and how nouns are used when they're included into the sentence. Again, go back, play those movie clips over and over and over again, listen to the stress, and try to implement this particular stress in your everyday speech. All right? So as always, if the video was useful, if you liked it, hit like. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If there's anything in particular that you want me to make a video on, or you have trouble with any area with pronunciation or accent skills in particular, just comment down below and I'll make a video just for you. All right. So to finish up, let's get into the quote as customary. Right? Today's quote is, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." Aristotle. Right? So it's super important to make it a habit. Practice every day, whether it's vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, or in this case with these videos, accent reduction skills. But 10, 15 minutes a day, as long as you do it every day, you're going to see massive results. It's preferable to practice for 10 or 15 minutes every day than 2 consecutive hours, but just once a week. All right, that's the consistency, creating a habit out of it, and learning how to pronounce certain words routinely. All right, so practice makes perfect. Improve your language skills. Let me know once again in the comments if there's anything you want me to make videos on or you have any trouble with. And I hope to see you guys in the next video, all right? Peace.